All right, I want to graph lines. I want to continue graphing lines. I wanted to touch on some special cases, though. I'm actually going to talk about four things: something called the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and then a vertical and horizontal line. Okay, so for the x-intercept, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's where the line intercepts or crosses the x-axis. So let me say that: where the line crosses the x-axis. Now remember, the x-axis it goes left to right. So wherever it crosses the x-axis, it crosses it at a point. So let's just say, and I'm making this up, I just see one here. So what if I clicked on this point and I put a point right there? That would be the x-intercept. Now, not for this particular problem, but I'm just showing you that. And similarly, the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Where the line crosses the y-axis. Again, if I wanted to illustrate that, and it's not for this, but somewhere, this is the y-axis. Say it crossed it right here. Well, if I graph the x-intercept and the y-intercept, I could draw a line through those 2 points, right? And remember, if we think about what we talked about before, in order for us to draw a line, we need 2 points to determine that line. So we can use the x-intercept and the y-intercept to determine a line. Right? Now over here, this is not correct. I just did this just for the sake of showing you. So I don't want you to get confused on that. But if I wanted to find out where the x-intercept or y-intercept is of, or where those things are of a problem or in a problem, you see how it crosses it at -2 on the y-axis and it crosses at 4 on the x-axis? Well, the x-intercept is 4 because it crosses it at x equals 4. And the y-intercept is -2 because it crosses that at -2. I just asked you to tell me what the x-intercept and y-intercept is. You just need to look to see where it crosses those things. All right. Now, again, I could go the other way and say, please graph it by using the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The x-intercept, since it's where it crosses the x-axis, it's going to be some number. So x and then some number, right? That number that will always make this the x-axis is 0. So 3, 0 would be an x-intercept. 7, 0 would be an x-intercept. The y value with the star, I'll say y equals 0, always, if you're talking about the x-intercept. And similarly, on the y-intercept, the same idea. You'll have like 0, y. So like 0, 3, 0, 7. Those are all y-intercepts. In that case, you see that the x is always 0. So you can use that, and we'll deal with that maybe later, get a little more deep into it. But you notice that this point right here is 4, 0. That's the x-intercept. It looks like that, 4, 0. Same thing here for y-intercept. That's 0, -2. Similar here. Now, the last couple things I want to talk about are horizontal lines and vertical lines. Now, we talked about the slope of horizontal and the slope of vertical, but the actual lines themselves. In Alex, we have something like this. Graph the line x equals -2. That means x equals -2. So if I have a line and x is -2, it doesn't matter what my y is. I can let y be 6, but what must x still be? -2. So if I plug it there, I get a vertical line. So I'm going to go ahead and check that because that should be good. And hopefully this is a y equals, good, y equals 8. Well, I'm going to find out where y equals 8. Well, y equals 8 right here. It equals it here. So let me just put it here. But anywhere over here is y equal to 8. Doesn't matter what x is. I can stick it anywhere I want to and y is equal to 8. And if I do that, then you'll see I have a horizontal line. So when it comes to horizontal and vertical lines, you always have a horizontal line whenever your equation says y equals some number. You always have a vertical line when you find x equal some number. So example, y equals 8, like we have over here, will give you a horizontal line. And then x equals, and what do we have over here? In this case, it was x equals -2, and we had a vertical line. All right, so that's a quick way of graphing horizontal and vertical lines. It's just x equals and y equals.